This is Jonathan, and today we are going to discuss the backup and recovery system in OpenShot Video Editor. Sometimes, just to give you a demonstration, we try to open a project, for example, and we get this particular error message, failed to load project. Gives the file path of the project, Invalid Load Key. So what does this mean? Essentially, what it means is something in the project data itself. For example, in this particular case, I just added a comma where there was not supposed to be a comma. But this could be, something was deleted, something inside your project file was just corrupted. And the result of this corruption is a failed to load project file invalid load key. So what can we do about this? This is a fairly common error, especially when the autosave system perhaps runs out of disk space, or maybe OpenShot crashes while things are being saved. Something causes the project data to be corrupt. So I wanted to show you in the preferences, edit preferences, under the autosave tab, we have a few autosave options. The first is the autosave interval, which is how many minutes, how many minutes do we prompt an autosave. We have a history limit, which is how many undo, redo operations, so you can kind of make mistakes and back it up without losing your work. And then we have a recovery limit, which is the number of project copies we keep. So essentially, every time, in this case 3 minutes, every 3 minutes when an autosave happens in OpenShot, we make a copy of the project right before we autosave. And that copy of the project goes into a folder called recovery. So this folder is located on different places depending on your operating system. But in most operating systems, it's under your home folder or your users folder and your username. And the folder is called .openshot_qt. So in Linux, it's /home, but in Windows, for example, it might be C drive users /username /.openshotqt. If you go to this folder, you will find the recovery folder, and inside of it, lots of copies of projects that were recently saved in the autosave system. So what I usually do is sort by last modified, and I look at the most recent file there. And so essentially what this is the project right before autosave saved it. And each one of these has a different timestamp on it. And then you'll also notice that it's a combination of timestamp dash your project name. So there can be different projects. For example, Centil Clips is a different project I'm working on. Template is the project I'm working on now. So all you have to do essentially is pick the most recent file in this folder, copy it, and then return to your project folder that you're currently working. And in my case, it's this folder, and paste the file inside the folder. And then just to give a demonstration, we take the latest file, we drop it in, and there you go. Project loads, everything's great. So once again, just to kind of recap, every OpenShot project that is saved gets stored in this recovery system. And so it's a great place to be able, especially when some sort of corruption event happens suddenly, or maybe it's a few days later when you realize that the project you need is corrupted. The key point though is always copy and always go back to the folder where you're working, where you saved OpenShot, and then paste the file there, and then use the file, open the file from that folder, because otherwise it will have trouble locating files if you try to open it directly from the recovery folder. But otherwise, this is a great method for finding a file that you've corrupted or that OpenShot corrupted. And so I hope this is useful, and please pass it along to anyone that might have the load key error. Anybody that has this particular error, hopefully this video will be very helpful to them. Thank you very much.